Hey, this is a hastily thrown together video having a quick look at the ongoing Southeast Australian heatwave. Extreme heatwave conditions are expected to continue tomorrow, Sunday 12th of February over northeast New South Wales, and the bushfire danger is expected to reach catastrophic levels. Today was already a record setter, so let's take a look at some stuff. First, I've got an animation of infrared radiation as measured from space this morning. That is the morning of Saturday 11th of February. It tells us the temperature of the top of the clouds, but if there are no clouds, then it shows us the surface temperature. The greens, yellows and reds are clouds, whereas the blues and pinks are the surface, with the pinks being hotter. I didn't capture the middle of the day, but got the morning, which is this first loop here, just showing the beginning of this baking day. The scale down the bottom indicates temperatures getting well above 50 Celsius, but these are the actual temperatures of the surface and not the same as the temperatures that are measured, which are measured at a height of 2 meters above the surface. I'll come back to this loop for later this afternoon when it was absolutely baking in this area. This image shows the global forecasting system simulated winds at about 9.5 kilometers altitudes. It's at 300 millibars for the meteorologists. It shows the upper level jet stream, which is largely responsible for this exceptional event. This image is from 2 days ago, and it shows a strong southwesterly jet in the south, and then over continental Australia there's a large counterclockwise rotating gyre-like feature. Well, this is a big anticyclonic block in the jet that has allowed for heat to build up over the central eastern continent. Moving to the next day, the anticyclone moves east, and then for today the anticyclone appears to have nestled over East Australia and intensified a bit, while the strong jet remains to the south. Now remember that jet, but we can see it from space nicely using water vapor imagery. This type of imagery shows water vapor in the upper troposphere, which is why it's great for viewing jet stream patterns, which sort of advect and move the water vapor around. Now you can see the jet to the south. It's very clear. It's dragging that moisture along the length of it in the form of clouds and just vapor. Then over central and southeast Australia, this ominous dark pool of dry upper tropospheric moisture slapped on the upper anticyclone we saw. So let's take a look at the Bureau of Meteorology's weather model output and see how things pan out into Sunday. First, with the predicted surface temperatures. You can see the temperatures picking up today over New South Wales, and then they cool down as the sun's radiation stops heating the land surface and the Earth continues to emit longer wave radiation into the atmosphere and into space, allowing the surface to cool. But at 850 millibars, well, this is a plot of the temperature at around 1,500 meters elevation, so it's above the surface, around the height of the highest peaks in the Great Dividing Range. Now you can see that the cooling during the night has a much smaller influence at this sort of height above the surface, and the massive slab of warm air remains through tonight. The issue tomorrow is the strengthening westerly winds ahead of the change, and then a shift in wind direction to more southwesterly winds behind the change. This loop shows the winds shifting direction as the southwesterly spread northwards across New South Wales. These will not put out any fires, but will trigger a rapid change in the fire spread direction if there are any fires going at this time. It's very dangerous and could potentially catch you off guard if the fire suddenly changes direction. Humidity is obviously very low ahead of the change, and then there's increasing humidity as temperatures drop behind the change. It's worth a brief mention that the weather models were showing this event occurring several days ago. These are the forecast images produced 8 days ago by the European model, which are similar to how things have panned out in the end. It was indicated by other models too. I'm just putting the European one since it's the only one I saved. The event is a consequence of a massive feature in the jet stream, as we saw in the water vapor loop. So these kinds of large jet events are easier for the model to predict well in advance than the smaller temperamental storms like tropical cyclones. So this is now the scorching afternoon infrared imagery. The records that have been set today are no doubt still being worked out. This grab from the bomb site shows the unusual situation of Canberra having the highest temperature of the major cities earlier today, even though it's an elevated city and usually coolest. Already on Thursday and Friday, Mildura in the northwest Victoria set a new record for its hottest consecutive days on record, with both days reaching a sweltering 46 Celsius. Having 2 days in succession reach 46 has never happened before in Mildura. It appears a temperature of 46.9 was recorded in Penrith, New South Wales today, which set a new record. Deep in the New South Wales outback, the temperature only managed to drop to 34.2 Celsius overnight in a place called White Cliffs that apparently broke a 102-year record for the highest minimum temperature during the night. I wanted to have a quick look at the MODIS Polar Orbiter satellite data for fires. These satellites orbit closer to Earth than the standard weather satellites and provide more detailed snapshot imagery. You'll see smoke visible in some places. Apparently there have been 49 bushfires burning on Saturday afternoon, and 17 of those are not contained according to an article I'm reading in the Sydney Morning Herald online. There is also concern about the amount of flammable material that's built up in the good rains last year, but have now dried up, leaving large amounts of combustible materials. So it'll be very interesting and concerning what MODIS shows for tomorrow. So I'll just finish with the official safety statements for tomorrow, Sunday 11th of February. Catastrophic conditions are expected in areas including the Greater Hunter, Upper Central West Plains, Northwest and Central Ranges and part of the North Coast. In these conditions, fires may start easily spread quickly. It will be difficult for firefighters to contain fires in these conditions. If a fire starts near you and takes hold, you will be at risk. If you are caught in the open, you may die or be injured. If you are in an area of catastrophic fire danger, leaving early is your only safe option. Consider leaving tonight or first thing in the morning. Do not wait until there is a fire. Homes are not designed to withstand fires in these conditions and may not offer safety. Avoid bushfire-prone areas such as areas of thick bushland and open paddocks. Consider relocating to a safer location during the hottest and driest parts of the day, such as a major town that is well away from bushland and open paddocks. Avoid traveling during the worst of the conditions. If you need to travel, use main roads and highways. Avoid back roads or tracks wherever possible.